Imagine you walk into a theater, a large theater, and you're part of this audience that's about to see some grand magic show. The lights dim and the magician steps out on stage and he's holding a ball. Wiggles his fingers and the ball floats up into the air. Now you're sitting in the audience and your eyes are telling you, hey, wow, floating ball. But your mind is saying, no, I mean, stuff doesn't actually float in reality as I understand it, so clearly there's just some trickery going on, it's not real. Then the magician does something wonderful. He walks over to the ball and he waves his arms around it. He passes a hoop over it. He does anything he can to make a silent argument that this thing really is floating. And then you're left with this conundrum because your eyes say it's floating and well, your head says, I mean, nothing's connected to it, I guess it's floating. And for a brief moment, you're left in this alternate reality where stuff can and does float by magic. What if we could take that moment? What if we could pry it open and have you step into it? What would that be like? And how could we use technology to do it? So that's what we do at The Void. We use state-of-the-art technology to place people into these impossible moments. And we combine that with sort of these age-old magic secrets and theory to pry those moments open and allow people to step inside them and walk around. In Star Wars, you're flying over Mustafar on this skiff, and you can smell the atmosphere, and you can feel the heat from the lava and the rumble of the skiff beneath your feet. Not only do I look like I'm inside of Star Wars, I feel like it. Most magicians try and create the illusion of something incredible, something amazing, but half the time we're using magical principles to getting you to believe that the normal is real. But once we establish that the things they see are real, we can take them the next step, where the things that they see that look incredible also feel real. Now, let me give you an example. So in The Void, every wall you see you can touch. That's kind of one of our rules. We also don't want every single world that people visit to look the same and feel the same. So how can we rearrange the walls without going through a lot of expense to create these big, expansive sort of warehouses full of walls to make these worlds? So imagine this. There's a hallway that extends out in front of you and then curves all the way around into a circle. Now, if you were to walk down that hallway, you'd just walk in a circle indefinitely. But what if I made you see a straight hallway, and that straight hallway pivoted around your central position subtly, causing you subconsciously to walk in an arc? Call it the infinite hallway. What makes this different than other technologies and other experiments that have been done before is that you can actually reach out and feel the wall next to you, and it'll also feel straight. It works with multiple people, and it is something that can be done to create a space that is essentially bigger on the inside than it is on the outside, just like a magic trick. Now, the guest will never know, but we're using this magic principle to create the illusion of an immense world that they can explore. What would it be like to step through a portal? But instead of just, again, showing the portal and virtually just having you walk through it, what if instead we had a wall there? When you first walked into the Void, with your visor up, you could see that wall. And when you put your visor down, again, you would see the same wall. And then we'd intentionally have you walk over in hyper-reality and touch that wall. And then after you feel the wall, what you would see is a portal open up in the middle of the wall and a clear view into another realm. And then slowly but surely, guests would reach out and their hand would go through the portal, through the very space that moments ago they were touching. Now, there's only 3 ways you can make something disappear. You can hide the object, you can move the object, or was never there to begin with. Well, of course, the wall was there to begin with. We're using the virtual world to sort of hide the fact that we're moving it out of place. I mean, it's a very simple concept, but the fact that we have perfect control over the guest's vision allows us to take simple principles like moving a wall in the same way you'd move a door. And sure enough, guests would walk through that portal, and they themselves are doing the magic and participating in an impossible story. In the end, the goal is to get people to live a story that they can participate in themselves and then go out and tell someone else. We call these experiences because in the end, that's what they are. People remember them as if they were events that they had lived, and they tell stories about how they were in this foreign planet and they were doing these things as if any of that were real. I mean, that's the goal. It's to have people step into alternate realities, to believe that they're there and participating in them, and then to come back and tell others about their experiences. If we're going to take you to another world, we're going to make it seem as real as possible and give you the experience of what it's like to be there.